Let's go. Hello guys, now we are going to continue with cost accounting part 2. There is share. Okay. Module 2 where did we stop? Okay, so you guys know AVCO method, that method, this method now, and calculation of weighted average price per unit and all. Like you guys know that basic stuff. So do you guys in what to do module 2? I don't think so. So just let's do module 3. Jay Kumar, module 3 media. Files module 3. Module 2. Mm, yeah. Module 3. I'm opening it right away. Yeah. Module 3. Okay. Let's start off. Question 53. We'll go according to how Sir has done the entire thing. Because so what we're going to start is with overhead analysis sheet. Now, LS has two product cost centers. One is the wait, my face is not that clear. First of all, LS Limited has two production centers, assembly and finished, and two product service cost centers, maintenance and canteen. The following budgeted costs are for the next period: indirect 2,000, rent 15,000, 10,000 is electricity, machine depreciation 5,000, indirect table 16,520. Okay, so the area in which all of these things are done is they are given all of it. And kilowatt per hour. Kilowatt run there, we can use electricity for it. Area would be rent. Machine value would be helping for depreciation, right? Basic. Then number of stars is also given here. And also, therefore, we can calculate the indirect labor for that. Then direct labor hours is also given over here. And indirect materials budget. Budget is given here and indirect materials also given. So you can naturally do that. And indirect labor, my bad, indirect labor budget is given right over here. So that we can apportion over here. Basic it is. Yeah, it's for the following, you have to make a table. Overhead analysis sheet. Where else? Me. Slightly bigger. Overhead analysis sheet. Primary overhead analysis. That would be the heading of the thing. Then it would be overhead. Overhead should be the first heading. I think that will be taking a little more space comparatively. Overheads. Total basis of operation. It should be slightly bigger. assembly, finishing, and maintenance. Then would be canteen. Okay, so indirect materials is given how much? 20,000. So why not we do indirect materials first? Next would be total. How much is it? 20,000 as total. Basis of apportionment. Basis of apportion for it is uh, indirect materials budget. It is already given over here. Like in the question, it's given indirect materials budget. So we're just directly putting over there. So 7,000, 8,000, 3,000, 12,000. I mean, 7,000, 8,000, 8,000, 3,000, and 2,000. The next would be indirect labors. Indirect labor over here is how much? 16, 16,520. 16,520. Basis of apportionment indirect labor is with indirect labor budget is already again given. What are the values? Okay, let's put the value 1600, 22, 200, 11,200, and 1,500. Next would be rent. Rent is given over here 15,000. 15,000. Basis of apportionment would be area. Area. Just write it over there. So 37,000. The way in which I came up with this number would be 1,000 divided by 4,000. What is the value for that? 1 by 4. 1 by 4 of 15,000. 1,000 into 1 divided by 4. 3,750. Exact same we do for everything else. We'll get the answer. 2,000 divided by 4,000 divided by 2. So 15,000 divided by 2. Right answer. I calculated over here, so I know all of them, but you guys have to sit and calculate it on your own. 1875. 1875. That's all. Rent you understood. SJs, electricity. Electricity, how much is given? 10,000. It is kilowatt per hour. This which is already given in the question. So that'll be 2750. Same method which I told for rent. Use the exact same thing. You'll be able to do for everything. 4500, 1975, 1975. See how I got 3,500 is 15,000 into 1 divided by 4. That's how simple it is, guys. 1 divided by 4. Next would be machine. Machine is 5,000. Value for machine, like machinery value is already given. So you can easily calculate machine depreciation. Forgot the spelling of depreciation, but that doesn't matter. Machine value would be 2250. Assembly value would be 2250. Reason being 60, how much? 45,000 divided by 100,000. You get a value, and that you multiply with 5,000. You will get the appropriate value. 1750, 550, and 450. Now what you do is total over here would be. That's what it is, guys. 17,350, 23,970, 18,600, 7,800. That's how basic it is. That's how simple it is. That's how easy an overhead analysis sheet is done. So let me go for a slightly complex one, which is question 11. Question 11. The following data relates to Lola Limited for the period of 9. Overheads is 1,48,750 and actual overhead is for 1,46,200. Machine hours were 8,500 and actual hours was 7,928. How to find whether they were over absorbed or under absorbed? There is a method in which you do it. So what exactly you would do is, um, 1 second is 30 second processing material EOQ. EOQ is not there by the way. Okay. Overheads is 80,000. Let's do the 10th question before the 11th question. Then you'll be able to easily understand. So 10th question is 80,000, 90,000 for budget and actual and 20,000 and 22,000. What you're supposed to do is budgeted overheads, overheads, short form BO is 80,000 and budgeted labor hours BLH is 20,000. What you do is to find OAR, absorption of overheads absorption rate. OAR, overheads absorption rate. What you do is 80,000 divided by 20,000 $4 per labor hour. That would be the overhead absorption rate. And overhead absorbed by 22,000 labor hours would be. Now what we do is we multiply the labor hours worked, like the overhead absorption rate, with 22,000, which is the actual labor hours worked. Actual labor hours is 22,000. So actual actual overheads incurred AOI is 22,000 into 4, nothing but 88,000. That's all. 88,000 is the AOI. And how much is the original overheads? Our original overheads, 90, budgeted overheads, 90,000. Oh shit, my bad. This would be budgeted actual overheads in actual overheads incurred. This is the budgeted expectation of overheads. BO budgeted expectations of overheads is 88,000 and actual overheads incurred is 90,000. So if the actual is greater than the budgeted, then it is understood that it is under absorbed. See, remember this. If actual is greater than the budgeted, then it's under absorbed. Actual is greater than budgeted, then it is under absorbed. If budgeted is greater than actual, then it's over absorbed. That is the basic thing. You can remember this as a formula. So 80,000 like budgeted overheads divided by budgeted labor hours, 80,000 divided by 20,000, you get one value. You get one value which is overhead absorption per rate. And you multiply the absorption rate with the actual labor hours. Then you get budgeted expectations of overheads incurred and the actual overheads incurred. So whether if actual overheads incurred is more, then whatever like 90,000 minus 88,000, then it'll be under absorbed by 20,000, 2,000. If example in the case over here BOO is 9,000 and AOI is 8,000, then 2,000 would be the over absorbed. That's all. That's simple. Just remember that as a formula, and life is set. Mm, let me do question for the apportionment and all that slightly confusing questions I'll do. Okay, so manufacturing company runs two production cost centers, C1 and C2, and two service centers, S1 and S2. Total cost allocated and apportionment of overheads. Each was 12,000, 17,000, 9,500, 8,000. Okay, let us just write it down over here. I'll just copy this directly and then paste it. Copy, paste. This is secondary overhead analysis. Secondary overhead analysis. Over here, insert is C1, C2, S1, S2. Instead of overheads, particulars. It has been estimated that each service center works for other cost center, and percentage to S1 would be this much and this one, and percentage of S2 center would be 30%, 35%, and 35%. Okay. A reapportionment of cost center. That's all. Particulars would be total, which is given. Just given. Basis of apportionment is given. C1 value is 12,000. C2 value is 17,000. Cost center 2. Sales center is 9,500. Service center 2, 8,000. What is given in the question first? Reapportionment of S2 service center. Reason being, in S2, some part of it is also given to S1. So therefore, that is the reason why we do this. Basic, understood? Okay. Re- Reapportionment of S2, S2 S2 reapportionment of S2 service center. What is given? Given would be given all three values are written. This control X, control V. Okay. The reason why we are doing this apportionment is uh, like percentage of services to of S2 to others is 35, 35, and 30, 35, 35, 30. So therefore, easy way to calculate is negative 8,000. Oh, here what will be? It will be positive. So 8,000, 8,000 into how much? 30 percentage, 2,400. 8,000 into 35 percentage, 2,800. Again, the answer will be 2,800. Now, what we do is reapportionment of S1 service center. S1 percentages will be 60 and 40. 60 and 40. Basic. Minus 11900. What you get the answer is as 11900 into 40 divided by 100 4000. 11900 into 60 divided by 100. 7140. That'll be the total. Yes, that's all it is, guys. That's how simple it actually is. What's more complicating than happening? Okay. Which of it should be apportioned first? First, maintenance cost or canteen? This would be the tip question. So question 27. It's a nice question. Student analysis sheet, particulars, basis of apportionment. Question 27. Particulars would be total costs like overhead, total overheads given 5,000, 7,500, 5,000, 7,500, 3,200, and 4,600. Manufacturing X, Y, C, D. X, Y, C, D. Reapportionment of service center. C service center. పది నిమిషం 10 నిమిషం. Okay, so reapportionment of service center percentage is a percentage which is given. For sure, what did I do? Percentage is given. Percentage 50, 40, 10. How do I know it? Because they are given it over here 50, 40, and 10. But the way in which we calculate it, I'll explain it to you in a small linear equation. So, how much of it has been given to Department D? 10%. 10% is being given to Department D. So, we can make a small equation over here. Since C equals to 10%, C or 10 C equals to 10% of D, 10 by 100 into D plus 3,200. C equals to 3,200 plus 20 by 100 D. So this is a basic equation if you guys understood. D is not in the denominator, it is in the sign. Okay, basic. Other one would be D equals to 4,600 plus 10 by 100 C. You guys understood this basic equation? What you're supposed to do is you already have the value of C over here. Just input that value of C. So what you'll be getting is C equals to D equals to 4,600 plus 10 by 100 into 3,200 plus 20 by 100 D. So these are linear equations which you have to sit and solve. If you guys understood, you understood. If not, I cannot do anything much. But yeah. There are two methods. One is this. Second is another big method, which is too confusing to explain. So for today, this much only, and thank you for joining this stream. Guys, study. Exam is coming closer. Bye.